rise of car repossessions that was published just last week. So what is driving the explosion of these car repossessions?
All right, guys, when you going to be able to buy a Hellcat? You know, a lot of people have been sending me messages asking me, hey, when you think I'm going to be able to buy a Hellcat? I tell you what's going to happen, guys. What you're going to be able to do is buy probably a repo. Only because a lot of people, man, they bought Hellcats, and not just Hellcats. I mean, any car. They bought these cars, guys. Everything was super marked up. Yeah, I haven't bought my 300 yet, so I'll probably be in this pool too, but I already done the math. And like I told you guys, if for some reason my credit union give me some ridiculous interest rate, that car's gonna stay on the lot. And I'm not ashamed to say it. I would be disappointed that I had to leave it, but I'm not gonna be stupid just for a car.
People having to borrow more and more in order to actually get their hands on a car. At the same time, you had a lot of people over the past 2 years, because of some of the pandemic aid programs, they had heightened income. And so because of, say, stimulus checks and debt forbearance, they had temporary pops of income. And banks, according to my reporting, weren't really doing income verifications the way that they have in the past. So you've got people borrowing more. There's a metric in the industry called loan to value, LTV. And I've heard that some of those were as high as 140%, meaning people are really underwater at a time when inflation is, people's incomes on an inflation adjusted basis are falling. People are having a harder time paying for basics like food and energy, and things like car payments are getting harder and harder to pay.
Unless you put like a tremendous amount of money down on a Hellcat, I'm talking about like $40,000, $50,000 down. I ain't talking about just to pay the markup. I'm talking about you got the car MSRP or maybe invoice, and then you put money down on top of that. You're gonna be super upside down. And for the people who pay the markup and you just got the car MSRP, you're gonna be in the water as well. And it only matters if you're gonna trade the car in. If you can't really afford it, the note is crazy. Because again, guys, you gotta understand, a lot of people got student loans. Student loans payments are about to resume. And a lot of people who done bought these super expensive cars and got student loans, they're not gonna be able to afford it. But guess what? The government gonna garnish your check, so you're not even gonna have the money to pay for the car, even if you don't wanna get a car back. You're not gonna have the money because they're gonna take it. So you have to consider all this stuff, guys, if you're thinking about, paying $100,000 for a Hellcat. And don't get me wrong, guys, I'm just keeping it 100 with y'all. If you can do it, more power to you. But a lot of people are definitely just buying what they want. I understand. But guys, a lot of this stuff is real, man. And a lot of people don't understand it until it's too late. So I'm keep getting messages because a lot of people want to go ahead and pull the trigger and buy a Hellcat because they're not making them anymore. But at the same time, I wouldn't be doing y'all any kind of favors or any kind of justice if I just say, yeah, just go ahead and buy it. Don't worry about if you got student loans that $500 a month is about to be back in your budget on top of the $1,400 or $1,200 a month you're paying for your car note on your Hellcat. And we're not even talking about insurance, maintenance, and like I said before, just living in general. That's going to be a big problem, and repos are going through the roof, guys.
The rate of repossessions for prime borrowers is starting to rise. So it's not just subprime borrowers who are having a harder time, because those are typically lower income consumers. But now what I have heard is that the rate of repos for prime borrowers with better credit has doubled to about 4% over the past 2 years.
You have to consider this stuff, man. I'm telling you, because when that payment comes, and don't forget this, guys, the banks can repossess your car if you miss one payment. A lot of times they don't, but you can miss one payment and they can come get your car. And a lot of people don't know that, because a lot of times they don't do that. A lot of times it's a long process, and they usually don't come get your car after one payment, but it can happen. It just all depends on the bank. A lot of people are just so underwater with their car. Some people were tricked in thinking that they, because they took the markup off, that they're getting the deal. And I'm not trying to be the super negative guy, but I just want to keep it real with y'all, man. I don't want y'all to make a financial decision that ruins your future for a car. That's all I'm trying to do, is just to keep it real with y'all, man. I think that the best thing to do is probably going to be able, you probably be able to buy a repoed Hellcat. Just try to get you one that's been taken. Some people are not going to try to ruin the car just because it's being repoed. Some people will, they'll try to damage it.
Dismantled the dash.
Wow. Car was being repoed, so he destroyed it.
Cracked the windshield.
That's crazy.
Wolverine got up in here, didn't
You fool, if you would have just let him take it, he probably could have sold it, which
I
will
don't know, man. Them seats gonna be a pretty penny.
take up
He did the
some of
Freddy
the
Krueger.
money you owe, because they
In
sold
fact,
the
I call
car.
it Freddy Krueger. If I bought this car, Freddy Krueger.
When they repo the car, they're going to try to sell it at the auction. And you want them to try to get as much as they can for the car, because that leaves a lesser balance for you to pay. Because trust and believe, you still got to pay for the car. Even though it's repo, you're going to have to pay for it. You got to pay for the difference. Whatever they couldn't sell, whatever they couldn't get for it at the auction, you're responsible for that balance. So people think, oh, just they repo it, I don't have to deal with it. It's not true. Because if you don't pay the balance, they're going to sue you for it. And y'all want to know how I know? Because I know people that have been through it. You know what I'm saying? I've helped people deal with stuff like that. You know, my time on this earth, guys, I done been through a lot. I done seen a lot. And I done experienced a lot. So I'm telling you something that I know, not something somebody told me. So again, just make sure you're ready to take on that high note. Because listen, the interest rate's about to go up again. And I'm definitely aware of what's going on. And I will not be ashamed to come back on camera and say, hey guys, guess what? I walked away from that 300. Because I want to be able to wake up the next day and still be able to take my son to do whatever he needs to do, or take my wife out to eat, take my family out to eat, go on vacation and pay my bills and be comfortable, not sitting around worrying about how I'm gonna pay for this high car note I have. I'm not about to be that guy, sorry. So again, to answer the question, the best way to probably to get a Hellcat at a cheap price is to get a repo, because the repos are through the roof, especially the used car loans, because a lot of people don't overpay for these used cars, and now they're breaking down. Now you owe $15,000 on a car that's worth $5,000 and it need repairs. Now you got a 5-year note on a daggone 10-year-old car, and that's a position you don't want to be in. I'm telling you, because you can just sit back and wait, stack your bread, and then when things kind of normalize, then you can make a move. Don't just jump out there because you're impatient. That's one thing that I learned. Look, guys, I've been waiting almost 2 years to buy a car, and it's unfortunate when I'm ready to do it, things went through the roof as far as interest rates, price, and everything. But I'm definitely going to, you know, be smart about it. I would definitely be smart about it, because if people want to unsubscribe, if I decide not to buy the 300, then hey, it is what it is. And I know the real ones will roll with me, and they will understand. People that are smart and got a brain will understand why somebody will walk away from a real high interest rate car loan. People who don't get it, they're just young and don't understand, I can see them unsubscribing or whatever. But hopefully you guys will, you know, get more from my videos and my channel. You know, not just car content, but just real life stuff, guys. That's what I try to bring to my channel. So again, I'm not gonna talk y'all to death, guys, but just to answer the question, yes, you probably be able to buy a repo. That'd be the best way to buy a Hellcat if you don't want to pay $100,000 for it. $100,000 for it, because they definitely gonna be available. Scat packs, all of them. They're already taking over the auctions right now. People are literally walking away from them cars, guys. I mean, you gotta think, you got a car note that's $1,500, and you got a mortgage that's $3,000. That's a lot of money, bro. A lot of money. And as you can see, a lot of the YouTubers who bought Hellcats for YouTube, I'll be going back trying to find some of the guys I used to watch. I see in the comments people asking, hey, where's your Hellcat? I sold it. Guys who had the Hellcats 6 months on YouTube sold. Because when that car note come up, I'm telling you, it's real. It's real, especially when they talking about garnishing your check and all that stuff because you're not paying your car note. But I'm not gonna, preach to you guys too much. I just hope y'all, just hope everybody just do your homework. Make sure you actually ready to have a responsibility such as a Hellcat or any kind of real expensive vehicle. And because it gets real, trust me, it gets real. I know everybody look forward to the taking delivery videos and this and that. But guys, that stuff look good on camera, but I'm telling you, when that car note come, that's a whole different ball game. You by yourself. You know what I'm saying? You by yourself. Everybody in the comments saying, congrats and all that. Because, people just automatically assume when you do something that you actually prepare for it. Where a lot of times that's not true. People just do stuff because they can, not really thinking it all the way through. So hit the like button, subscribe. I get questions all the time, so I told you guys I want to start doing videos trying to answer those questions. So if you're new to my channel, man, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.